Okay, we are back, people. Now, chances are if you're watching this video, IG is absolutely fucking you right now and you're figuring out ways to adjust and get different traffic methods or figure out what to do next now that IG is kind of cooked. Now, in this video, I'm going to be telling you where to put your focus, how to diversify your portfolio of traffic so that you're not relying on Instagram to ban one Instagram and your whole traffic is dead. Because obviously that's happened to many models, many agencies. The whole OF industry right now is in a ruckus, but that is the perfect time where you can capitalize on that and actually strive for more than you were making before. Because obviously in hard times, pressure creates diamonds. Do you want to be a diamond or not? So yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get into how to diversify your marketing portfolio so that you're not only relying on one traffic source and maybe 2 or 3 IGs for one to get banned and you to basically get cooked forever. Now, first off, diversifying platforms is a key step. This will be moving on to things like Reddit. This will be putting your focus onto things like Twitter. Now, for both of these, I would predominantly say do safer work. Obviously, with these platforms, you can do NSFW, but the matter of the fact is the conversions are just not as good. People don't spend as much because once they've already seen you, more nude, then they just won't spend any more. You can pull in traffic on both of these, which then gives you this kind of baseline of safe income that won't get nuked when IG decides to ban you like that. But then I would also recommend moving on to, Facebook, reusing the content you're using for Instagram on multiple Facebooks. This can be, I would recommend probably starting off with 5 Facebooks, moving from there and posting on them. Now for Reddit, you may be asking, how many accounts should I do? What should I be doing on there? Again, safer work, I would probably be doing around 2 to 5 accounts on Reddit. Doing this at scale pushes you more and also lowers risk. Right now, there is a lot of risk in the industry, and lowering that risk is what's going to save you from either going, to zero or at least keeping a good amount of income there steady. And the next one, which isn't the best, but it's still worth doing, is TikTok. Now, I wouldn't recommend using the same kind of reels and stuff you're using on Instagram on TikTok. What I would recommend is having a structure of where you find a trend and you essentially record that trend 5 times and you will post that throughout the day and you will push that. And that is kind of what's working for us on TikTok right now, is finding trends, making 5 iterations of that exact same trend and essentially just pumping that out maybe 5 to 10 times a day. Because TikTok, it doesn't hurt to post more. It's not like that kind of platform. The more you post, you're not going to get less views. That's essentially how it works. Now, having these baseline of traffic is a key to your survival in this industry, because if you don't understand how to diversify your portfolio in this, it's like any other thing in stocks, in crypto. If you have all your eggs in one basket and that basket nukes, you're fucked. So that's why people diversify their portfolio. And unfortunately, the OnlyFans market on Instagram has currently turned into kind of a crypto, meme market where accounts are getting nuked left, right, center, and everyone's struggling to see what the hell's going on. Now, of course, we were also impacted by this. So that's why I'm making this video for you, because we already had this kind of, traffic across multiple different platforms. So when Instagram's got banned, yes, okay, it was painful, but we had other traffic coming in, so we were not crying too much. We were just working on building those other traffic platforms. So let's recap. TikTok, do, some trends, 5+ per day of the same video. You can pump them out and you won't get essentially flagged for that. I would recommend probably running, maybe 1 to 3 accounts on TikTok. Don't put too much focus there. Put around, let's say, 10 to 20%. Now, next, let's do Facebook. Facebook, just repurpose the same reels that you do on Instagram and essentially just post them on there. Now, if you're doing multiple Facebook accounts, you will have to clean the videos, edit them slightly, edit the brightness, edit the saturation, put some text on screen so that you don't get flagged for posting the same content over and over again. But Facebook is a really solid platform for OF because it's that kind of perfect demographic. Now, it is harder to get views on here. So yeah, and with Facebook, I would also, we're not touching it right now, but I have seen it work, and that is YouTube Shorts. Now, for me personally, it's not really work, but I know for some other models and other agencies, it's definitely worked. Now, the key in this kind of era is finding out what works for you, and what works for me might not work for you, but I can give you my best advice to find out what actually works and what is working for me right now so that you can try, test, and go from there. Now, next is Reddit. And this is a pretty simple platform. This is where you're going to be, posting pictures, red gifts, etc., but putting yourself into a niche category so that you can get this niche kind of platform of audience coming in from there. Now, I know a lot of you may be asking, oh, why not Threads? Why not FetLife? You know, all these other kind of bullshit platforms. Now, me personally, again, it might work for another agency, it might work for that. But me personally, I've never seen a good enough return on investment to actually focus those platforms enough. Whereas these other platforms, I'm saying now, have given a good enough return on investment in terms of time to traffic ratio, etc., to where you should put the focus into them. So yeah, Reddit, again, safer work, niched, and essentially moving into more and more accounts and scaling with that. Unfortunately, creators have to put in a lot of work right now, but that is the industry you're in, and unfortunately that is what's been chosen to do. So yeah, and then next, Instagram. Oh, what do we do here? Do we just have one account? Hell to the no. Now, I would recommend probably having one Instagram account, and you treat this like your baby. This is not posting any sexual kind of reels. This is posting kind of personality-based content on there. Maybe being a bit more lucrative, but be very, very careful because obviously you can get nuked very quickly. And the link situation, one thing I'm seeing right now as the date 4th of June 2026 is that a couple links are working. You know, I wouldn't use LinkMe and that kind of stuff, Linktree, beacons, but I know one thing that's working really fucking well right now, and that is funneling other people to Threads, where Threads is just where you have your link, or having a second profile, or again, you can get flagged for this, but having it in your highlights and using something like Bouncy AI. Now, I've seen this slt.bio, whatever. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Might be a scam. Not seen it. I've just seen some people saying it's the best thing, but honestly, I've not seen it, and I think it's probably just some marketing kind of scheme. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, so going from there, you have this one Instagram as your baby. Then I would recommend having another probably 5 accounts as your main tier accounts. So you have obviously S tier account. This is your main. Treat this like a baby. Be very careful. If you see flags coming out, take all links out immediately and just do some story posts. So that is the main. Then I would recommend having 5 kind of A tier ones. This is where you're playing them, you know, a little bit safe. You're doing fresh content for these IGs. If your model can't put out that fresh content, then I'll probably recommend going to 1 to 3, or having to record videos on multiple devices at the same time. This is also what we're doing at Covalent to diversify our portfolio across Instagram, is having models record on different devices or the same video, maybe, you know, a few times, where you can post on 1 to 5 Instagrams, which is your second tier accounts. Now, what we have started doing recently is the old mass posting, and this is working great, to be honest. It is actually leveling up our agency, where, you know, we're having 50 plus accounts for models that it converts for, and essentially pumping out the traffic for those where it's working really, really, really well. So that is another one where you should be doing mass accounts. This can either be on cloud phones. You can do this with VAs, but I wouldn't recommend that. What I would actually recommend is probably doing something like G-Lock, Ali Remote, those kind of things. And I actually have a full guide on this where you can literally watch the video. I give you the whole script and the rundown on how to scale up to 50 accounts, how to get those accounts pumping. Yes, it was before this whole crazy ban wave, but the same things still apply there. And essentially what this does is this gives you a good boost on Instagram if you have working viral videos already. Now, if you're pumping out the same kind of stuff that gets, you know, 5 to 10K views, don't waste your time. Please figure out a content kind of strategy that works first before mass posting, because mass posting shit everywhere means it's just going to be the same shit. Right. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you understand now how to actually treat this like a business by diversifying your portfolio of traffic so that you're not only relying on one source, but actually treating this like, you know, it is a real business, guys. And that's what you need to realize. You need to treat it like a real business. Think strategically. The market changes, so you need to change, or else you'll literally be left in the dust. Now, if you're an agency, you're looking for some high quality chatting, or you're looking to scale your agency with a bit of mentoring from myself personally, and what we're doing with our agency, what works, and the reason I do this, it's actually something I've you know, started doing recently. So if you guys are interested, please go to my Instagram, OFM CEO, and message me OFM, and I will send you a message and we can see if we can work something out. Now, if you're a model, you're either looking for chatting or you're looking for full management help, then also I have a type form there, or what I prefer, probably just message me, say hi or whatever, and I'll get back to you literally instantly. So yeah, guys, hopefully any questions, please leave below in the comments. I will be answering them all. Any more questions, you can message my Instagram as always. And hopefully you guys have a blessed time, and please push through these periods. It may seem hard, you may feel like you want to quit, you may feel like you don't want to do this anymore. You know, I've been there in similar situations, and it's okay. You can make it work, and that's pretty much all I gotta say. You can make it work and you can push through this. Diamonds made through pressure. It's okay, guys. It's only Instagram. You can fucking fix it. Peace.